Hello and welcome back to Kaiserreich. We're playing as Norway. Let's see. What were we doing? We were expanding the Christiania Spiegelwerk. That means, that's kind of like an outmoded way of saying the Oslo nail factory, I suppose. Like, literally just making nails, maybe? The Christiania Nail Works is a steel company with a history dating back to 1853. They're one of the largest companies in Norway and a crucial part of our plans for industrialization. Let us expand their facilities and greatly improve our industrial capabilities. Cool. Anyways, let's unpause because we are quite a small nation. We don't have a lot of like aggressive stuff to be doing. We don't really have like... I mean, we could exercise, but I want to check how much... No, we shouldn't. We need to stockpile some equipment. We'll start exercising once everything is like actually up and running and stuff. Should we be making 6 of these, really? Let's freeze this and see if we can deploy the ship here. We can. Good. Let's make 1 for now. Protests against farm foreclosures. Yeah, so this was also a real issue. The current economic crisis has caused a lot of farmers to default on their loans and mortgages. As a result, their livestock and property is normally auctioned away to the highest bidder by local authorities. The practice is deeply unpopular among Norwegian farmers, but its proponents claim that debts must be repaid and that the actions are a necessary evil in a free market economy. Yesterday, the Farmer Party proposed a bill that would ban the auctions. What is the government's position on this issue? So, let's see what we get here. If we pass the bill, we lose stability, or if we allow the auctions to continue, we get the event of Bygde Folkets Krisehjelp. That one I think is actually real. That is a social welfare measure. Let's see. Yeah, it's a sort of social welfare measures taken to ensure that rural Norwegians, you know, who are in general economic despair, aren't doing too like are actually given any help. And that grants, so we get political power gain minus 10%, construction speed 10% plus, and production efficiency gap plus 5, factory output plus 10 for 60 days. So let's, okay, so I think some of these will lead towards revolutionary tendencies, but for now, we'll be, yeah, so the Farmers' Party is Bondepartiet. That is the Social Conservative Party. Which I think right now is Senterpartiet. Center Party. Let's, it might be, or they might have merged with Hoi4. I'm not quite sure. I actually don't remember that part of the story. I thought, yeah, because Venstre is like... It was Venstre and Bondepartiet, I think, which were the 2 parties. And then I think maybe Hoi4 split from Bondepartiet, I'm not quite sure. Anyways, like early on in the Norwegian parliament. We will allow the auctions to continue and get the Krisehjelp, which is an event, I think. First International Congress, or International Congress. Delegates from socialist nations and political movements around the world are gathered in Paris today. For the latest in a series of world congresses, while the mantle of the Third International was taken up by the Communards after the Russian Civil War, the ideological tenor of the event promises to be very different, with syndicalist parties being the newly dominant force on the far left. Delegates were greeted by a military parade, an exhibition of avant-garde art, and finally a speech by the chairman of the CSP. At the top of the agenda is the spread of the revolution to Asia and North America, ongoing conflict in Spain, policy on colonialism, and the requirements for membership of the Third International's military alliance. An interesting development. One that happens every game. More research speed every time, because that will then speed up all subsequent research, as I keep saying. Okay, so we have here. Oh, okay, so I think Bygde Folkets Krisehjelp here has been... Oh, wait, has this been like co-opted by the far right? Yes, yes, it has. Today, a loose grouping of landowners, farmers, and right-wing politicians announced the establishment of Bygde Folkets Krisehjelp. Partly political and partly economic, the goal of the organization is to oppose the farm auctions and aid farmers in need. Questions have already been raised regarding its independence, as its founders are all members of the party National Samling. While some newspapers have praised its creation, others are denouncing the organization as nothing more than a ploy to increase support for National Samling in rural areas. Unfortunate. Right, so we're going to be careful about that from now on. Now we have a significantly more popular, extremely right-wing movement going on here in Norway. That is this. I still think that the leader of National Samling should probably be someone else than Vidkun Quisling. I mean, I know that he was instrumental in the original National Samling, but I think, you know, things happen differently here. There you go, Quisling's speech. Vidkun Quisling, a former Minister of Defense and the leader of the paternal autocratic party, National Samling, recently held a public rally. In his speech, Quisling denounced the government for both its handling of the economic crisis and the lack of measures taken against the Norwegian syndicalists. He encouraged his supporters to join Samfunnsvernet, a conservative paramilitary organization, claiming that Samfunnsvernet and National Samling was Norway's last line of defense against syndicalism. So he is essentially pulling a Hitler/Mussolini. Of course, Mussolini is like a bit different in this timeline, with him being at the forefront of like totalist thinking. But yeah, here he's like pulling a Hitler or whatever, or Mussolini by organizing paramilitary organizations, kind of like what happened in the interwar years in Germany, and then later on in Germany in the 30s. Or like late interwar years, and then in Italy as well after the First World War with the Arditi and everything, with like you know, men of action, etc., etc. The people of the trenches who were to, you know, repair society and all that. I'd say, you know, quote unquote repair society, obviously. We've got the big hooves still in the United States. Jean III. Alfonso here. Probably not long for this world. Death of Pius IX. All Christendom mourns the death of His Holiness Pope Pius IX, who died following a heart attack after having been in declining health for the past several years. Something which rapidly worsened following Black Monday. The succession of His Holiness is made all the more important due to the Catholic Church's role in governing the reborn nation, as well as its vehement opposition to syndicalism, a force which has divided the North of Italy along the River Po and seeks to once again reunify the Italian peninsula. How terrible! Well, so now the College of Cardinals has to figure out who the next pope is going to be. The smoke's going to come out the pipe, and then it will know what the fate of Italy is going to be along these 4 different focus trees here. Samfunnsvernet and the state. Since Samfunnsvernet was founded in 1923, the paramilitary organization has been a bulwark against syndicalism. Although controlled and supported by conservative and nationalist circles, it was even granted status as a reserve police by the Police Act of 1928. This is like a very like Weimar Republic type, interwar Germany type thing. However, Quisling's recent speech has filled its ranks with his supporters and radicalized the organization. Several voices have raised concern regarding this development and wants us to curtail the organization. Well, of course we will. We will revoke their status and suppress the organization. We don't want radical, revolutionary, right-wing ideologies like infiltrating our police forces and stuff. By the way, we have construction speed right now, so we should probably be doing this instead of conversion. And then we should get this one at some point as well. Because that'll give us more access to more factories, and will also make factory construction faster. Oh, I might have actually done the wrong thing here. Our attempts at suppressing Samfunnsvern have failed. The right-wing parties would not accept any compromise regarding the organization, while the left-wing parties demanded an outright ban. As a result, we couldn't build a parliamentary majority on the issue. They will be a danger. Okay, so if this playthrough ends up going the way of Kissling, then I might have to do a second one, because I am not taking the playthrough I intended to come out on the 17th of May, Norway's Constitution Day, down the path of national populism. That feels very wrong to me. The formation of the Red Guards. Our intelligence service is reporting that the syndicalist parties and trade unions are covertly organizing paramilitary Red Guards. While this is most likely a response to the radicalization of Samfunnsvern, it is an unsettling development. What can we do? Make better decisions, I suppose. This is not going to plan. The Papal Conclave, they have elected Pope Pius the 10th. No, 11th. Shit, the previous one was 11th. This is the 12th. The previous one wasn't the 9th, it was the 11th. So this is the 12th, and he is traditionalist, fight corruption, etc., etc. He's not one of the moderate ones. He's not the crusading pope either, though. I hope we don't have a civil war. Oh, let's look at the... yeah, so we have the Hawk. And we have the Gladiator, which is a British design. The J-22. And the J-21. What are these guys? You can see the Norwegian roundel there. And, yeah. Naval bomber. MF-11. Don't know anything about that one. And 3PD Nomad. Probably also not a Norwegian plane. I mean, I honestly doubt that any of these guys are Norwegian. Really? Ju-52, yeah, here's a German one. Yeah, we're using a lot of, I think, yeah, train lightning here, which is, I think, British. Or it might be American. We're using a lot of licensed production designs here. Yeah, Tornado, Canberra, Valiant. Tunnen, what is that? Looks like a MiG or something. Would be cool if we could get some Swedish planes. Don't even know if they have their own designs in this time period. Dude, this music is getting fucking intense, dude. Kjempeviserslotten, the Ballad of Revolt. Fitting for what's going on right now. Tibet has joined the Great Khanate. Oh my god, the meme is real. Roman von Ungen-Sternberg is reinforcing the Mongolian army and has created the Great Khanate. And he is their Great Khan. I don't know if they changed it so that he no longer gets called Genghis Khan III or whatever. Or the second. Yeah, his, like, it used to be that his, actually, it still is. His, cavalry is actually insane. Maneuvers in the Carpathians. The Treaty of Bucharest of 1918 officially ended the Weltkrieg for Romania, but at what cost? Romania was now dominated by German and Austrian industries. Most of her coastline was annexed by Bulgaria. And the Carpathian Mountains separating the Romania from Hungary were put under Austro-Hungarian control. So Romania is doing military maneuvers. They've got Iron God Romania under Codrano of the Garda de Fier. Oswald Mosley elected chairman of the Trade Union Commission, or Council. Trade Union Congress. Wrong on both accounts. Okay, so written within the International, so that is... Okay, that's just like a generic one that they all go through. No longer have agricultural foreclosure. Yeah, now, so we have an aggressive totalist in power in Britain. Historically, he was, of course, the leader of the British Union of Fascists. Let's see, we could do Norsk Hydro. Norsk Hydro, founded in 1905 by Sam Eide and Christian Birkeland, is the crown jewel of Norwegian industry, from the production of fertilizer and aluminium to the production of heavy water. Hydro is an industrial behemoth. As the only notable Norwegian company on the international stage, we should further encourage its expansion. So a lot of countries bought aluminium from Norsk Hydro, and I think they still do. This company, of course, was investigated post World War II for collaboration with Nazi Germany, and was found, I believe, not guilty, like their heads. They did, however, aid in the acquiring of heavy water for Germany for their plans for a potential atomic bomb. And there were several commando raids in Norway, which were basically designed around the idea of sabotaging heavy water production to prevent the German Reich from potentially creating an atomic bomb with heavy water from that location, at least. There's a mission in Battlefield 5 which kind of takes the event and kind of plays with it a little bit and makes it kind of absurd. But you know, it's always fun when Norwegians hear people say the word Norway out loud. So SSB is Statistics Sentralbyrå. That is our main statistical bureau in Norway that basically keeps track of everything, basically, businesses, etc., etc. By conducting a national industrial census, we can better exploit our limited industrial potential. So that gives us national industrial census, national spirit, which grants production efficiency cap 5% extra. Well, infrastructure will increase the speed at which we construct everything in these areas. Østlandet and Vestlandet. That's meant to be an Ö, a Scandinavian letter, which is an O with a dash through it, diagonal line. An Ö, not an O. But obviously, I'm guessing the lettering font in Hoi4 doesn't actually accommodate for that. Or let's see, we should keep going in industry and stuff, get that stuff done. I'm gonna go defensive rearmament because this is kind of huge in terms of what it does. This one would give a research slot though. So if we go, we should go Hydro and then get the research slot. And then after that do defensive rearmament, I think. I'm very excited to see what we are going to do militarily because we are so small. We could, obviously we're not going to be able to fight Sweden. That's insane. But we could potentially, and also Denmark, probably not. We do need the Nordic Federation, I think, if we're going to fight anyone. We can't fight Finland, because then we have to fight Germany. I think the idea is we're going to... Oh, coup d'etat in Siam. That never happens. I think we're going to going to try to join one of the alliances here and try to basically piggyback off of a major power. However, the German Empire is like kind of an easy one to go with, so I think maybe we'll, like, provided we don't end up going syndicalist. I mean, I don't know what the events, how they shake out on this this patch and with this nation in general. But provided we don't go syndicalist, we have two options, like two major ones, unless Russia creates a faction, and that is the Entente or Middle Europa, or the what are they called again? Reichspakt. And we could do like Turbo Meme and just join the Danubian Federation if Blessed Karl creates it. Manuel Carles assumes full control of Argentina. Yeah, so now we got the national populist in Argentina. Union Sindicalista achieves Italian majority. Wait, Socialist Republic. Okay. Oh, I've never seen this guy before. He's got a great hat. Well, I mean, he's got a hat, which is always great in Kaiserreich. Alcesta de Ambris. I don't know how to speak Italian, so I'm sorry if I butchered the pronunciation, and that man's head is squished. Doesn't say anything more about him, so I guess if anyone knows anything about him, please let me know in the comments. The 5th Congress of the Socialist Republic of Italy has ended with the Union Sindicalista, led by Palmiro Togliatti. Continuing its mandate by achieving a majority of seats in the government, the Union Sindicalista have held control in the Republic since the end of the Weltkrieg, and this continuation of the regime signals the likely solidification of their alliance with the Commune of France. Okay, so that's just like... that's the moderate syndicalist faction. Oh my god, and we are boosting past our research bonus. Or sorry, our research, like, grace period. Like, if you don't pick a research, it's going to fill up this bar, and then afterwards, it's going to... I didn't even pause when I hit spacebar, but yeah, it's going to save 30 days of it, but we just boosted past that, so sorry. Mistakes were made. Okay, so let's look at our tanks. We've got Stridsvagn, or Stridsvagn, means armored or war wagon. Kind of very orky name, I guess, if you translate it, but it's like a Panzerkampfwagen, like Kampfwagen, like in German. I've never even seen or heard of this tank here. L100, Kampfwagen 3, Stridsvagn KW3. I think KW is Kampfwagen, and then M41. These all look like they are based on or just straight up reproductions of other people's designs, like other countries' designs. What the fuck? Dobregubben. This is the Norwegian name of the Hall of the Mountain King. So this is literally, the heavy tank here is literally called the Mountain King. Well, Dobregubben means like the old man of Dobre or whatever, but yeah, this is the Mountain King. This is a big meme. What the fuck? It's got two cannons at the front and back. You know when I said orky? This is very orky. It's got a small like AA gun, it seems, at the back, and a huge fucking fuck off cannon. This is absurd. Okay. Taubitz, so field howitzer. Oh, that's funny. I think our fleet is going to consist mainly of submarines and other stuff that can like avoid the larger fleets and support our allies if we get any. So we'll probably go trade interdiction here. Oh, speaking of the Mountain King. We're going to want recon companies in our divisions, but we can't place any in them yet, so there's really no point. Oh, no, we need this. If you've ever looked at a map of Norway, you will quickly come to realize that we live in a country which is pretty much all mountains. Except for, you know, Eastern Norway. Dude, that Dovregubben thing was really funny. Okay, let's see. In terms of Chief of Staff, we should go with... probably fire support. Oh, by the way, last episode I said something about Otto Ruge. This guy over here. The Walloon Communal Republic has joined the Reichspakt. What? What? No, you haven't. You're totalists. So, Wallonia broke free and created the Walloon Communal Republic with totalist Julian Lahout. The Wallonia Crisis. Okay, this is something I haven't seen before, I think. The rebellion in Flanders Wallonia has taken a vicious tone in recent weeks, with open fighting and the rise of the Walloon Commune flying the Coq Hardy flag in town squares across the breakaway region. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. With German and Royalist forces gathered on the Mosa for a swift counterattack. Hopes for the survival of syndicalism in Wallonia fell onto Paris. Oh god. With tensions rising between the German Empire and the Commune, it seems that France blinked first, seemingly unwilling to bring down the wrath of Germany upon them. Even now, France was unwilling to offer guarantees to the Walloon rebels. The survival of the independence movement now seems in doubt, and there are few who believe that King Adalbert's regime will now fall. However, war between the great powers has been avoided, for now. I love how you have all these like small flashpoints that can cause war, kind of like with the, I mean, with the, like World War II, you had so many small flashpoints. You had Czechoslovakia, right? You had Austria, technically, and you had Poland. And it wasn't until, okay, yeah, Germany is going to crush the rebellion, but it wasn't until Poland that, you know, the, you know, quote-unquote, World War was a reality. The Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. In a surprising turn of events, the elections of the vacant throne of Poland has resulted in the restoration of a state thought to have been forgotten in history. Whoa! Despite pressure from Austria and Germany, King Mindaugs III von Urach of Lithuania has been elected as the new King of Poland. And a new constitution was drafted to unite Poland and Lithuania back into the Commonwealth. It is not known if this new entity will be very stable, but the Poles seem to be enthusiastic. That's unexpected. And then there's just more information about the coup d'etat. Their popularity has plummeted, and yeah, okay. Poland elects a new king. The regency is finally over. Cool. I'm not quite sure if that's like a rare meme or if that is actually fairly common. If you know, please let me know in the comments. The one thing we need to focus on really is fighters and naval bombers. But at the moment we do not have the industry to be making fighters. We don't even have the industry for support equipment. This one comes up a lot when I'm playing as Norway. I don't know if this might be a mistake in terms of like choosing which songs should play for which country in terms of weighted shuffle. Oh. Oh, precious Finland. What the fuck? Holy shit. There was no event for this. That is a weird flag. With Kurt Marti Valenius. Crackdown on socialism. What is happening here? The rebellion succeeds. They're going down the national populist path and going big. Big meme. So there's going to be war probably between Finland and Sweden. Or at least they're going to provoke something, and probably Russia as well, because this oh, Indochina declares independence. That happens often. Yeah, this is quite a an aggressive focus tree here. You can see like Sweden gets an event for Finland remilitarizing Åland. Åland is the island in between the countries here, which at the moment I think belongs to Sweden. And or am I thinking of I might be thinking of Gotland. Yeah, there we go, Indochina. So we got the Vietnam War equivalent here. A bit early though. And the Walloon commune is gone, as expected. Okay, we don't need all 3 dragoons in and near Oslo. Either way, we are now overtime, and since the war hasn't really started yet, we're not going to do any casualty reports, but I will be doing casualty reports in future videos once the real war, the real Weltkrieg, begins. The real second Weltkrieg, that is. Thank you for watching. If you want, I've got a Twitter down below for you to check out. I've got a Patreon. If you want to buy Hoi4 or its expansions, you can check out the Humble Bundle link below. I get a small cut if you buy from it, but it doesn't cost anything extra to you, and I think you get a Steam key as well if you want it. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.